She walked in dripping with designer labels, demanding attention, snapping her fingers at the waitress like she was dirt. Orders were barked, insults flew, until a calm voice interrupted. The rich woman spun around, stunned, because standing there wasn't just anyone. It was the restaurant owner, the waitress's mother. What happens next? Let's start the story. The golden afternoon sun bathed the large glass windows of Le Jardin Étoile, the city's most exclusive French fusion restaurant, where every chair was draped in elegance and every plate was a work of art. It was a place where the wealthy flexed their status over wine pairings and truffle risotto, where reservations were booked months in advance. And it was exactly where Veronica St. James, dripping in diamonds and arrogance, chose to have her Friday lunch. As she strutted in wearing a silk Chanel suit and $5,000 stilettos, her oversized sunglasses reflected the staff scurrying to accommodate her unannounced arrival. The maitre d' nervously glanced at the reservation list, not finding her name, but too terrified to say no to someone with that much entitlement strapped to her wrists. "Just seat me by the window," Veronica demanded, waving a hand like swatting a fly. "I don't wait." "No apologies, no please." The maitre d' obliged, quickly gesturing a server forward, a young waitress named Amira, no older than 23, dressed in crisp black and white, her curly hair tied neatly back, her apron spotless, and her smile genuine despite the palpable tension. "Good afternoon," Amira greeted. "Would you like to start with still or sparkling?" "Sparkling," Veronica interrupted, not looking up from her phone. "But not that cheap stuff you serve everyone else. Something imported." "Absolutely, ma'am," Amira replied, jotting it down, choosing kindness even when met with condescension. But it only escalated. Veronica scrutinized the menu like it personally offended her. Ugh, this font. Who designed this? A child. Then, tossing the menu aside, "Tell me, sweetheart, do you even know what foie gras is? Or do they just hire anyone off the street here?" Amira blinked, keeping her smile stitched in place. "Foie gras is a delicacy made from..." "Stop. Don't explain." I was being rhetorical. Goodness, you people. Orders were given with sighs of boredom. Plates were sent back untouched, declared too salty, too sweet, too warm, too cold. And every mistake, real or imagined, was pinned on Amira. Is it that hard to do one thing right? Veronica hissed after the third complaint, snapping her fingers. Other diners shifted uncomfortably in their seats, some murmuring disapproval, others looking away, unwilling to interfere with wealth armed with cruelty. Amira's hands trembled slightly as she cleared yet another untouched dish, cheeks burning but eyes focused, determined not to let this woman break her spirit. She whispered calming words to herself, as she always did when customers tried to chip away at her dignity. But then came the final blow. As Amira set down the dessert, a handcrafted creme brulee, Veronica sneered, pulled a silk napkin, and deliberately wiped the rim of the plate as if it were contaminated. "Can't expect someone like you to get anything right," she said loudly enough for everyone to hear. The plate trembled slightly in Amira's hands, her composure cracking. But before she could respond, before she could muster the strength to excuse herself, a calm, commanding voice echoed across the dining room. "Is there a problem here?" All heads turned. Veronica glanced over her shoulder, irritation ready on her tongue, until her breath caught. Standing there was a tall, poised woman in a tailored navy suit, elegance radiating from her presence, her natural curls styled perfectly, her expression one of cool, collected authority. Her name was Layla Hassan. She was the owner of Le Jardin Étoile. And, most importantly, she was Amira's mother. "Oh," Veronica stumbled, straightening in her chair. I didn't realize." "No, you didn't," Layla said sharply, stepping closer. "You didn't realize that the young woman you've spent the last hour belittling is the daughter of the owner. But that's not the problem." Her gaze hardened. "The problem is that you felt comfortable treating anyone like that, whether they were family to me or not." Veronica floundered. I was just giving feedback. I expect a certain standard." Layla crossed her arms. "A certain standard doesn't include degrading my staff. You could have communicated any issue with respect, but instead, You chose to humiliate a young woman working with grace under pressure. Her eyes scanned the restaurant, knowing every diner was now silently watching. At Le Jardin Etoile, we serve excellence to everyone. We also expect our guests to carry themselves with the same dignity we offer. That's part of the experience. Sadly, it seems you don't meet that standard. Veronica's mouth opened, closed, her face flushed deep crimson. So here's how this ends, Layla continued, her voice unwavering. Your meal is on the house, not because you deserve it, but because I refuse to take a penny from someone who behaves like this. However, you are no longer welcome in this restaurant. Gasps rippled through the dining room. What? Veronica stammered. You can't. Do you have any idea who I am? Oh, I know exactly who you are, Layla replied. The question is, do you? A waiter quietly approached, holding Veronica's designer handbag and jacket. The exit is that way, Layla said, motioning to the door. I suggest you use it. Veronica stood, flustered, gathering her things with trembling hands, muttering protests under her breath. But no one offered her help. No one offered her sympathy. As she stormed toward the door, a smattering of polite applause broke out, small at first, then spreading as diners silently thanked Layla for doing what few would have the courage to do. Layla turned back to Amira, her expression softening. You handled yourself with more grace than anyone should be expected to, she said. I'm proud of you. Amira exhaled, blinking back the sting of tears, nodding quietly. Thanks, Mom. The rest of the afternoon went on, but something was different. Staff walked taller. Customers smiled warmer. A message had been delivered, loud and clear. The viral video hit social media within hours, captioned, Rich woman humiliates waitress until she learns who owns the restaurant. Millions watched. Most cheered. Some reflected. And as for Veronica St. James, perhaps, just perhaps, she walked away from Le Jardin Etoile having learned that kindness costs nothing, but arrogance could cost you everything.